Yeah, it's Monday. Solana summer. Good to see you guys. I can't wipe this little shit grin off my face. It's a good day. We got a lot to talk about. Let me know how the music is in the background. I want it to be background, not right up here with me. But, you know, levels in my ear aren't always the same for you guys. So hit me up with that, guys. Welcome back to Hxro Labs Live. I'm down here in the studio in Toronto, headed to Chicago this Thursday. So I won't be on Friday. I'm going to see the headquarters. I'm going to see the HQ. Going to hang out with Dan and Rob. Might meet Messiah if he makes his way up there. He said he would, but yeah, I don't know if he's booked his ticket yet, so I'm not counting that chicken yet. But we might get a little squad hang this weekend. Going to see the Solana offices, I hope. I'm pretty sure they're in the same building. And what better time than the beginning of what appears to be a massive breakout on Solana. We're going to get after it on the charts today. I am in this sort of 1 hour window today because it is Monday and I have some calls and some other shit scheduled, but let's go. A chicken, no. No, I didn't call him a chicken, although I might. He did play a little chicken back there a couple weeks ago, but it's a story for another day. Let's get straight to the charts, guys. You know, we're going to take a quick look at BTC and Ethereum because they do play into the entire market and they are looking complacent at the moment, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it, and I'll tell you why today. It's all part of the plan. Dips are for buying, and dips are better than buying pumps. So as much as I'm pumped about Solana, I'm actually setting up for whatever dips I can get. So let's take a look at the charts. First of all, probably my favorite Bitcoin chart as far as, you know, signaling the breakout, right? RSI led by about 12 hours. Then we had the breakout and it was basically no holds barred all the way up to this 0.5 50-50 GAN retrace, which came in fast. You know, it came in way ahead. Reality was about 20 days. I was expecting 49 days. Way ahead. At least reality was about 20 days. At least I was looking for that. Oops. Ahead. Reality was about 20 days. I was expecting 49 days. Way ahead. Having some trouble over on TradingView. Might have to 20 days. Might have to reset. If TradingView skips again like that, I'm gonna have to cut it for today because we ain't got no time for that. If the stream refreshes over there, it comes in with sound, which you guys then hear back. So it's a little weird. But what would it be without a little sound issue in the Hxro Labs office? Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. We are at a level, right? We've come up into a level that I've been watching. One where if you caught me back here where the feeling was very bearish and I said I'm going to take my longs against these range lows, this is an area I'm taking profit. Yes. So what's changed? Has anything changed? Well, the Bitstamp volume is pitiful. That's where I drew this chart. So we're going to go look at something a little more relevant. I've got that Bitcoin chart here. Didn't plan to spend much time on Bitcoin, so I don't have all of those charts up, but I do want one more. Let's take it from here. And yep, okay. So as you can see, like Ethereum this morning, right? Little one red candle, and people are like, the dip's coming. Dude, nothing significant is happening here yet. Okay, now I know we're fraught with disbelief this phase of the cycle because, you know, we just had a little bear market. And so the first leg up is disbelief. And yes, waiting for a dip is typically a good idea. After you see a confirmation of trend reversal, you just get that higher low. Where is that higher low going to come in? Well, possibly down here in the pump chaser zone, high 20s, low 3,000s, a little more aggressive. I think, you know, generally speaking, have a plan. And my plan, when it's a pumpy market, when it's like a FOMO-y start to a potential continuation trend, I'd like to see that 382 hit. So I'll be watching the 382s, which kind of aligns with the SR levels back here. How's that sound? Yeah, we're good? No comments? Okay. Sometimes I just talk, and then I look up and it's like, you're on mute or something. So just double checking. Bitcoin, I got a better Bitcoin chart. I can make one. Yeah, here we go. So let's take a look at the daily on Bitcoin. Right? Like this is definitely a level. We're at weekly resistance. So here's the thing. I would expect to see a reaction here no matter what. Even if it's going to like consolidate that resistance and then blast through. There's very unlikely that you come into a weekly resistance after this and just cut through like butter. So nothing about the local price action this morning concerns me. And if we get this pump chaser zone here, you have to also understand I'm playing from a position where I just am strongly in the camp that we're headed into a broader bull market here, whether that is the end of the move, end of the cycle, whatever kind of extension we get here, 100K, more, I think more. Is that going to mark the end of a cycle where people are suddenly, I think so. I think it's more likely that whatever next leg we get will be a really good area to take profit, but not early, right? I don't want to be in the camp that's like, exit, FOMO back in, exit, FOMO back in, exit, FOMO back in, because by that second or third time I'm back into the trend, I'm suddenly like, oh, never again am I going to sell. And that's actually what happened to me back here. I got pretty profit takey in February, so through this, and then I, big dump, felt really good about myself, kind of got back in, and by the time the top finally came in here, I was kind of complacent, which is what we get, right? And then you see the dump, you're like, oh no, it's okay, new volume on alts. So really focusing on the psychology of this cycle so I can try to capture the most of it. There's nothing wrong with anyone that was buying up through here, taking profit here, and that's what we're seeing on the chart. And if you go to the Bitcoin USD on FTX, if you want to fit my bias, well, look at the volume on FTX, because that is making new highs. And despite the ink being a little ugly, we can hide that right there. This is significant. This is significant to me as far as like marking a potential breakout to a new one, new leg. So look, Bitcoin is not what's exciting right now. Ethereum, not what's exciting to me right now. They are exciting, and I think they'll do really well this year. But Solana has just broken new highs. It's an absolute beast. And if you guys remember Solana back here, I think there was a lot of bearishness in the market here, or there was some things starting to roll over. And remember, Solana just kind of did its own thing, and everyone was like, holy fuck, Solana is like its own beast. Well, we all forgot about it, came down into this key support level, and now this even caught me off guard. I feel criminally underexposed to Solana given how bullish I was on it, given, the DCA buys I put in, which I'm happy with, right? They're all up, and that's great. But then I'm looking relative to my like positions on other random, not random, but other coins. And I'm like, fuck, like how is Solana not my biggest bag? It might be my biggest bag soon, but numbers wise, it was bigger here, much bigger here, much bigger here. So the position I rebuilt, holy fuck though, bro. These 2 days, like 50% in 2 days on a top 10 coin. That's an insane amount of liquidity coming in. And so you got to ask yourself, is this the end of a move? Is this like, oh, I'm going to call tops here and get out because that's a nice pump? Cool. Like if that was my trade to sell at the break of all-time highs at the start of price discovery, then I should sell. But right now I see breakout volume. I see a break to new highs after a 3-month, what appears to be reaccumulation or consolidation. I'm not in a rush to sell my Solana here. In fact, I feel, like I said, underexposed, so I am looking for dips. The most obvious and easiest way to trade these dips is just to follow it up with these 382s. And if that means going up to $85 and then, buying a retest of the highs, then that's just what I'll do. Something like that. So I find these actually line up a lot. So we may get a signal here. This might be a little hint that perhaps this initial breakout volume is going to hit that 80. Get everyone nice and frothy, FOMO'd into position, ready to ride to 100 just to watch 2 weeks, pull back into the 60s, at which point they're all wanting to puke their bags, regret their life decisions, and that's our pump chaser zone. So I need to be patient here with Solana if I want to add to this bag. I don't even think Solana is the sexiest play. Like if I had size where I'm like, ooh, I just want to put something in and it's the most, sure bet, the most thing that's like in 5 years, this will be around. Solana is probably my favorite play, FTT, those two. But as far as like being a more active trader and capturing what this move means in the market, I think there's much better percentage gains available in an echo rally that could follow this big breakout on Solana. So we're going to look through that today. We're going to pick out some ideas. I've got my watch list here, and we're going to start at the top. So I'll shrink that a little bit. Really glad you guys are here with me today on a Monday, kind of a surprise stream. We've got 44 of you guys here watching. It is, an odd day for anyone who has a real job, Monday morning. But here we are. And, if you missed this live, you can catch the replay. And I think the TLDR of today's stream will be now that we have a high volume breakout on a ton of these coins, that the play is to set up some of these levels. So in other words, there may not be a whole lot of active things to do today, although I did FOMO into a couple this morning. So Step has had an explosive move. We're just going to do a quick scan to be like, if there's anyone who's in doubt of what's going on here. This is an idea I have on Step. That would be like the dream dip. I did pick some up today at this little throwback. In fact, I got front run ridiculously. I had a bid. This thing dropped down to 59.05. I had a bid at 59 cents. So it looks like it hit my bid. It just didn't fill. And then right after I saw it, it was like 60 cents. And I just like aped half of the bid in and then shortened this or shrunk this to the other half. So I did get a half fill here, but I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, look at this move, right? Pump and go, sure. Almost more likely that it just cools down here for a little bit now. And that's fine. Shake out the FOMO buyers, shake out this little thing, because if you zoom out, look what we're looking at in the broader market. And I'll take this squiggly off for now. I'll hide it because I want to get it back later. I'd like to see how that plays out. But look at this chart, right? Came out. There was farming going on. Somebody mentioned on Twitter. So like a big farm, you could delta hedge, delta neutral hedge, short it on perps, farm the shit out of it, avoid impermanent loss. And then those farms closed. We formed a bottom, and now Solana season is upon us. Breakout, and you can actually spot on the chart when we should have been paying attention. Step was not on my radar, regrettably, because we had this break of volume off the bottom. We had a pullback into what I can guarantee you was a pump chaser zone, if not a reload zone. And that's sort of like, it actually front ran. It front ran the reload zone, but it hit the pump chaser zone and took off. So there was really no catching this thing, and now it's just really moved. So I am uncomfortable buying things up here in general. The best I can do when it comes to FOMOing in is to wait for pump chaser zones, which looks like we'll probably get here. I've got some Keep. Maddie, we'll take a look at Keep as well today. I'm going to skim through as many charts as I can. And again, the most important thing I want to do here, because I think it's fair to say that as a betting man, as a trader, I got to be thinking about Solana Summer. That was kind of a meme back in the spring. I believed in it. I got out of all those positions because the market rolled over. In a lot of cases, thankfully, was able to sell up in here just because the market looked like shit. We got sort of an M top, got that bounce. And so a lot of my exits were here. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, RandomTask555, you'll see that I almost accidentally started DCAing in right at the bottom. It was just kind of like, oh, it looks like shit, but I'll just put in a little. Put in a little more on the reclaim of this on things like Oxy, Serum, Maps is a big one. And then look at this, like Maps is just pumping today. So is this the end of a move? Are we in for, more of a consolidation bottom? Because this is not usually how a bottom forms. Like a full bottom wouldn't usually form like this, where it's just down, up, and then never stop. Often you do get, coming into the first resistance, and then you kind of get some of these. Like that's what I always talk about, right? And then you wait for the ultimate breakout. So that might be the case here. I don't know for sure. What I do know is that Solana's in price discovery, and that means that most of these, I think, can at least reach their all-time highs, get up into those short reload zones at the least. And rather than try to bet on, sell here to buy back lower, all this stuff, I'd rather just patiently wait for this trend to play out. Look for signs of tops, which takes weeks to play out, because if you're on a daily, like for example right here, really nice example, we pushed to new highs. The reversal took 7 days to confirm, right? High, another high, and then break down here, and then even then it took like 3 or 4 or 5 days to properly break down. So I'm not going to find a high today. I'm not going to have a confirmed trend reversal today. Riding this trend on these coins, it could play out for weeks, it could play out for months. This entire area down here could end up looking like a dream entry. And so I really want to capture this trend, whatever it ends up being. I want to let this winter run, and I am going to wait for a more significant trend reversal on the daily M-top kind of shit before I get excited about, rushing out to the exit. So I am in buy and hold mode, and we're going to be using pump chaser fibs for the next little while because it is a pumpy market. It's an aggressive market. We may not get these reload zones. We could, And if we do, it's going to sting because the positions I didn't sell here will look like, ooh, a missed opportunity. But I will add or hold. And, at the very least, I just think this is the bottom right here. And so anything into this is still bullish. It's a higher low. So I need to be patient. I need to steel my hand. I need to not get too excited today and start aping into a whole bunch of shit after, 22, 25, 24, 32% pumps. FIDA, holy fuck. Looking at, so just a quick look at like maps, similar pattern to FIDA. Well, look at FIDA, right up at the highs already. Probably coming into like the 88.6 of the pullback, right up here. And, and I wouldn't be shocked if this stops here and consolidates for a bit. Again, I'm going to sell my FIDA here just to maybe buy it here and here. That's a little more scalpy. That's not why I bought into these. And if you ask me, I'd say this thing's going to make new highs and go into price discovery just like Solana. So I'm holding and adding to FIDA if anything. And I found some other tokens today through here. You click on Solana ecosystem tag on CoinGecko and you can get a whole bunch of names. And some of them are infrastructure plays like Serum, like Radium. Solana, obviously the king of this list. Bonfida, those are infrastructure plays. They are directly involved in a lot of what's happening over on Solana. Whereas other ones like Link, it's not even really built on Solana. They're partnered, maybe they're working together. Perhaps they're using some of their oracles, right? So you got to kind of pick through these because just because it's on this list does not mean it's, tier one. But then there's a lot of unknown names on here. Lick Protocol, I saw Messi talking about recently. This thing absolutely exploded today too. So can I get a pump chaser zone on this? Are we going to see some kind of retest of this level in the coming weeks? And then that's going to look like an interesting higher low on a broader uptrend. I saw Soul Ape is basically mirror imaging this chart. Well, actually pumping even harder. So we clearly have a trend in the market, right? Trend is towards Solana projects. And that's what would happen if, like we said, you get Solana into price discovery on volume. So there's a ton of opportunity here. I just need to make sure that I don't fucking, ape into things where it's like buy here and then you see a drawdown, which can be 20, 30% to that pump chaser zone is 382, right? That's 38.2% off the highs. That stings. And when you look at it in a pure dollar sense, if you bought at the wrong time, that can be an area where like an uncanny thing without checking, you're actually selling these 382s. And then it just continues. So to avoid that, I need to be patient with my entries or, further entries. I've already got a pretty decent basket of Solana plays, but I don't have any Soul Ape. I don't have any Lick. I did pick up a couple today. What did I pick up today? Because there are some that, still look pretty good. I did pick up some media today. It's again on the hourly, like this thing is kind of like pretty high up there, right? You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be the end of the move off the lows, and I could have to eat shit and average in a little more. I didn't go crazy, but I picked up some media. I mean, just because look at this chart. That's not how bottoms form, right? I would actually be shocked if this doesn't come down and test a level before going, but I started averaging into this today. Ray just reclaimed a level. It's moving into that vacuum that I put out there on Twitter yesterday, so I'm pretty content with holding this up to the $9, $10 area. I think that seems like a gimme in the next few weeks. And Radium is a pretty strong Solana play. I'd say it's in the top 5, so to speak. So Ray, Oxy, same kind of thing coming up off the lows. Probably can get up into here. That's still a little ways away. But, my trading Oxy, did I wait all through this and average in through here to sell it on like the first impulse? Not really. I think a lot of these will age really well. The thing I might do is do some scalping. So it comes into this resistance, sell like a fifth of the position, third of the position, set the pump chaser zone bids. Like I might do some of that. And that way, if it does roll over and it's like, oh, fuck, RT, you were way off, super wrong. And it just blasts through the pump chaser zone and everything goes to hell and news comes out, like whatever. As an escape shoot, it's nice to have some of those scalp profits taken so that you have a little flexibility. And then if it draws down completely, well, you captured some profit and you reduced your risk, all that stuff, play from strength, blah, blah, blah. Mango is a new one. And I picked some up on this little SR flip today. It's not as sexy a chart in the sense that it's new and I don't really have a sense of where the key resistance is. Is this a bottom or is this like a post-launch lull where we then draw down because there's all this inflation and investor tokens and farms? I don't know. What I do know is it's a Solana project that hasn't moved up yet. It's listed on FTX. It's decent liquidity. And so I added on this SR level this morning because I don't think it's going to matter unless you're like a total scam project that just built on Solana without permission and they don't even know who you are. I don't think it's going to matter which of these we're looking at in the next few weeks. Because this, unless you believe in like total savage, draw everybody in and then dump it in Solana's a scam. Like, unless you believe in that weird, improbable shit, then this is the beginning of a broader continuation. And it should be. I think Solana's like 5-6% of Ethereum's market cap. And it has a ton of promise. There's haters out there that'll say it doesn't work very well, this and that, it's buggy, it's not user friendly. I've heard all that shit, and all I can think of when I hear that is like, great. Because I would hate to think that I'm late to the party. Because when you get there and it's comfortable and you don't even realize you're using it, the blockchain's hidden behind it, you're probably buying in, a little later. If you want to be an early adopter of innovative tech, bugs, beta, all this shit, that's attractive to me if it's an otherwise promising project. So I'm not too worried about it. It's already improved quite a bit since I was using it earlier this year. And these are the chaos levels from this consolidation on Solana. So is this a day where it's tempting, if I was leverage long or something from through here and I'm already up a whole bunch? Sure, pay yourself, whatever, that's a trade. But I am not in a rush to like call a top on this. And I'm staying away from the 15-minute charts because these are the kinds of charts where you see like an M top, a little breakdown, retest, and then you want to just sell, and it's like, oh great, and then it draws down for a few days and you feel like a champ, and then it moons. And I look back and the daily trend was only ever up, and I realized that I got out on the first dip of a broader 1 month, 3 month, 2 year trend. Like, who knows, right? So if anything, I'm nervous about misplaying this to the downside where I'm not holding Solana when it hits $100, $200, $500, which is not out of the question, by the way. Ethereum was once $7, then it was $300, then it was 10 cents if you traded on Coinbase in summer 2017, and then it went to fucking what, 4,200, and probably gonna head to 10K, right? That's what everyone thinks. So you got to have an imagination when you're in price discovery, and yeah, super bullish. So let's take a look at a few of the lesser known ones. Soul Ape. Let's check the chat. I'm sure you guys know a lot about these more than I do, to be honest. A lot of these I don't even know what the hell they do. I'm literally trading them as a proxy to Solana, and that's fine. No single one of them is where the fuck am I? Here we go. No single one of them is such high risk that, if it's a shit project, that I'll lose it all. Media, whatever happens to this chart now, the bottom on this, for all intents and purposes, is in. This is that kind of huge volume, big pocketed, smart money type shit that I always try to get behind, so that you're just like, whoever this was, they're now protecting my position. If I can end up buying, maybe here, maybe here. So started a position today. Nothing crazy. Looking to add, pump chaser zone. Love that. Lines up right with the VPVR node. I bet the RLZ lines up down here. Yes, it does. So there's two levels I can look to get saucy on media. For now, this just looks great. So for the small position I put in, it's essentially like a DCA bag on something that just looks like it's bottomed. Even though, like, the reason I don't take size is because going to that reload zone, that's like 25%. I don't want to watch that drawdown, because that would be like Bitcoin pulling back, that'd be ETH pulling back, that'd be everyone going, it's a fucking bear market. So it's not easy to hold a large position from these highs. I won't be doing that. Radium, yeah, we looked at. What else we got in the chat? Stole a lot of rope. Yeah, long on Link. I keep hearing about people talking about Link and how it's been boring lately. That's usually a good sign if you're trying to be early to a pump. I think it was a big player. First derivative DEX on Solana. Yeah, I heard some good things. I've been hearing some. So like, look at this chart, right? If we know Solana's pumping, if we know Solana ecosystem plays are pumping, we can see that clearly here. They're all moving. There is a trend. This is actually my favorite kind of trading, because when the market is sideways or it's random or it's not particular, trends in any particular sector, you're just buying a coin. You have your setup. You follow it. It may fire. It may not. we basically are in a situation now where we know objectively that Solana ecosystem plays are pumping. And so it makes finding the next ones and taking positions on them almost less risky, like much less risky. And I'm always reminded, I shared this in the Discord this morning, this example, always reminded of Ocean, because Ocean is an interesting trade. I'm usually pretty conservative. I'll follow my plan. If I miss something, I'll wait, or I won't take too much size. I aped into Ocean in February so fucking hard. Like spot wise, it was the more larger percentage position I ever took, simply because we were in a market that was going nuts, right? Things were all breaking out. They were all pumping. There was a whole bunch of coins that had already moved hard. And then I looked at this chart, which at the time looked like this. And like, you tell me, right? This looks good, right? You have your volume rising up into what at the time was resistance. And so it's like, okay, well, fuck, if that level breaks, I'm going to get interested. And price broke out of it and it touched it. And this is a daily chart. So this touched, like, that was like hours and hours and hours and hours of price sitting on this level. And I just looked at it and I said, is there any way that this does not break out? Find me a scenario where it doesn't. It's always possible. You know, you don't lever up and sell your house. But I put size on it. And the reason I'm bringing it up today is because the reason I was able to do that, why it fit into my plan, and why it was almost like an easier, less risky trade to take, was because the market had already shown its hand. It says, we're a big fucking bull. And so you've seen, 10 other coins at the time had flipped an SR level like this on rising volume and then mooned. So it was almost like, okay, now it's Ocean's turn. And so conviction was high on that kind of a setup. That's how I feel about Solana right now. With Solana moving up, volume pouring into all those plays, I have very high conviction in the list that I'm going through. And that makes it easier to trade because, doesn't mean I'm going to ape in at these highs. They may age well over a few weeks. But I'm definitely looking at the other plays, looking for pump chaser zones. Whatever this mercurial is. It's a cool looking sound, cool sounding word. That's all the research I need. And it's trading on FTX. Same kind of shit, right? Right off the bottom, nice big highs of volume. This could be the end of the move locally. In fact, in many cases, I bet it is. Slow, steady, suddenly, vertical. Like, do I want to buy into this? And then there's some, like and then we could be looking at that. That's possible, if not probable, in some of these coins. So I must stress that to you guys, that moving slow here will probably age really well. And if you're like me, and sometimes you just feel a whole lot of FOMO, and you're like, fuck, I'm not positioned properly, or I want more, or I want some, it's never, it's not going to kill you to take tiny positions in some of these, and then you just ease your FOMO. And oftentimes you'll find those little positions are underwater weeks later, and you're like, thank God. Now I can be more rational and actually pick up some proper levels and follow a proper plan. But then if it does moon, you're like, oh, well, I made $50, like something, steak dinner, let's go. Step is an example of that. After getting filled this morning, missing my fill by like a fifth of a cent, and then filling on my own right after, and then I expect this one is toast locally. Like, probably is gonna do something like that at the very least. That's your pump chaser zone. Maybe it continues and gets really, greasy into this level down at the down here. And so that's why I was talking about ETH and Bitcoin, because if they pull back, which it looks like they might, it always looks like they might after a nice big rally. Let's find the right chart again. Yeah, here we go. Let's just do a freshie on Coinbase. Oh, it's not fresh. Oh, look at that. Squiggly. To be fair, I think this leg was already done when I drew this, so it's not that special. But here, don't know what I was saying with this squiggly from an old stream, but let's just put that away. Yeah, so we're getting into this weekly resistance. We are complacent a little bit here, just kind of moving sideways at resistance, which is not bad. It's kind of normal, and it's allowing all coins to have their day in the sun. And so if Bitcoin pulls into here, which would be totally normal, in fact, probably much healthier, I'd like to see it. If we get that, that's probably going to align with something like this. right? Because alts are more volatile. So Bitcoin going back like 10%, this thing will drop like 20, 25%. So again, beating the dead horse. It's not a day to be like, haha, Solana's moving. I'm just going to buy up everything Solana. Hope that message is clear. I did do some buying today. So I'm a hypocrite. But mostly things like Mango, because it hasn't really moved yet. Audio hasn't really moved. No, it hasn't moved. I think it has. Yeah, I lied. It has. Audio's an interesting one. It's only ERC20, so it's not like a full-blown Solana project, but it's on their ecosystem list. In fact, it's like the top 6 on their list. So I figure it'll catch some eyeballs that way, because that's the list a lot of shoppers will go to. And it looks really good here, and it hasn't really mooned yet. So I did add at this sweet spot this morning, and we'll see. We'll see what audio looks like in the next few months. Sushi coming into some resistance levels. I've got a big bag of that from here, and we'll see how that ages. I think it's probably due for a pump chaser zone eventually. Here's the thing, guys. Like, find an uptrend from the past. If you don't believe in this waiting for the retest, find an uptrend in the past. And most often, if you draw up some pump chaser zones along the way, you'll see that is where those zigzag tags come back to. Like, it's incredible. And if you haven't already, check out the pump chaser zone tutorial on our YouTube. You can actually Google it. It's one of the top hits because nobody trades that. Same with the Chaos PRZ. So check out those videos, because we are in the season for that. And whether that's like pump chaser zone up to fib extension or up to chaos levels, this is always, treat every bull market like it's your last, because someday it will be. But, wisdom aside, I'm here to get hungry right now. Opportunity strikes. We did capture some opportunity while things were a little less certain down here. Now it's looking really smart, but it's not over. There's, being smart here. Kind of just saying the same thing over and over again today, but it's so important on days like today to not start buying into these crazy pumps on whatever coin, because when the totally normal pullback comes, you feel like you bought the top, you sell the dip, and then you're done. So if you're doing that today, just be careful. Serum is, like, I'd say the number 2 in Solana. So you have Solana, then you have Serum is probably going to be the closest follower, and it's come into a level today. Right, it's come up into this 0.5 GAN retrace that we've been watching on stream for a while. So is this a place to suddenly be like, okay, I'll be a bull now? And it's like, it's not ideal, even though that looks like breakout volume and it looks like it's going to continue much higher. I would be much more comfortable waiting for something like that, or waiting for something like this. So there's really 2 paths of playing from a position of strength here. And that's, it's going to be something like this. Or I'm wrong, we just pump from here, but then there's still a little retest up here. And I'll give you a good example of that. I wonder if the ink is still on the chart. It's not the one. Yeah. So you have that situation here. Obviously, I was in a bit of disbelief. I thought, if we rally up here, this is what I was looking at in Serum. We're basically looking at this on Serum right now, right? Where it comes up to the 0.5 and it's about, well, what's it going to do? And you can see, you can see very clearly that pattern I just drew on Serum played out here on Luna. So had it rolled over, this was a terrible entry. But since it broke through and retested, this suddenly becomes a much more comfortable entry, because if it breaks down from there, you can get out with less of a loss. Whereas if you just buy that resistance, guessing it'll break out, not only do you risk buying the exact top, but you can usually get that same entry a week later without holding on to it that long and wondering, right? So let's look for some SR flips. Let's look for some pump chaser zones. Those are the levels that you should be watching. Those are the levels that I am watching. That's how we play from a position of strength. The bull market is not easy. It's going to be very cruel to a lot of people who just ape around on green days and then shake themselves out and get scared on red days. And there will be red days. There will be double-digit drawdown days on all of these coins. Guaranteed. So those are the days to get apey. Today are the days to either pay yourself, hold, or hunt for the red day levels, right? So those are the main ones I'm looking at today. Let's get back to the chat. We'll see where we're at. I got all that in 35 minutes, so we can play around a little bit here. Oh, Cope. Cope has not been on my radar, unfortunately, even though it's like so fucking hot. I have this really lonely, sad bid down on FTX. I actually deleted it just this morning. It was a little sad because I was trying to buy this reload zone. No, I was trying to buy this reload zone. So it was up to here, and then that day, look, you can even see it. I had it at 87 cents. I was trying to fill there, and it didn't come in. When I looked, it was already back up, and then I just kind of was like, I'll just leave it there. Market's quiet. We'll see. And now it's just gone. So I don't own any Cope. It's a thin fucking book, too. I try to go pick up a position through this, and it's like you're going to run the book up unless you get filled. But the volume is rising. This, the recent high came on new highs, so this is almost certainly not the end for this one. And I suppose I should get serious about getting an entry, which means I need to follow it up and look for pump chaser zone, which is 266 right now. That's the best I can do as far as following my plan and getting a position without FOMOing, FOMOing responsibly. And I'll just follow this up as high as it goes. And then if and when Ethereum and Bitcoin decide to range or consolidate or break down or whatever happens in the market, you'll often find it sounds dreary and a lot of people are calling tops, and it just slides into these zones and then just continues. It's going to be so sexy. I heard the SPX opened shitty today, global markets. I love when this is their big red day. It's like, oh no, we're down 0.33% today. Market's bad. Like, okay. Built different, I guess. This thing just looks great. I don't have any. Bit sad. It's probably going to come up into this node. So I can say with, oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Again, these 382s, these fibs, the levels tend to line up with SR levels. So if this continues up into that 485 level, confluent with this node, well, I guess that's why the node's there, a whole bundle of trading here. And that's the top of this breakout. And then we can expect to see at least a 382. And that's your, that's this level here too. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not going to trade it up there because there's just no risk reward. But if it peaks anywhere around here, that pump chaser zone is getting bought because this is one I want in my bag. I don't have it. I do have Serum. I do have some. I don't have Ramp. I do have Ray. Ray got listed on Binance. That was this pump. And then during the little drawdowns over the last few weekends, it didn't really draw down. And so actually yesterday, I don't know where I said it. Maybe it was on Twitter. Maybe I didn't say it to anybody. But I loaded the fuck up on Ray here because I just thought Serum was pumping. Solana was pumping. I was like, damn, Ray is probably like the number 3 along with FIDA, Maps, Oxy, arguably down in the 5th, 6th slot as far as like their relationship to Solana, right? You think Sol pump or FTT pump, you instantly are like, oh, Serum, right? And then it's like, oh, Ray, right? So I'm trying to find that like liquidity cycle. I think Radium's probably close to 3 if it's like FTT, Sol, and Serum. Ray is very quickly moving into that 4th slot. Yeah, so Mango looks good. That's the other one that maybe I'll even add a little more at this SR level. Of course, not having any real history on this coin. I could see things like this too. And then, of course, with the new coins, it's really freaky, right? You don't know about the emissions. You don't know about the perps, and people are hedging and farming, and then you end up with something like STEP. I still remember when STEP came out, somebody asked me in the Discord right here. They said, have you looked at STEP? It looks really good. It's come out. It's hype, obviously, right? It's STEP Finance. It's this really cool thing, future of finance. But I don't know who's got tokens. I don't know what the farming's like. I don't know how the distribution's going to work. And the chart doesn't tell me shit. And thankfully, I was preaching caution at this kind of level because I just thought, let's let this thing, find itself. Let's let it discover itself. And without fail, it just absolutely got wrecked. I mean, like, and then somebody mentioned today there was like a farm and blah, blah, blah. And people were shorting on perps to be delta neutral. And that's a really smart play. But that's a dynamic that I don't see on the charts. You have to learn about that with a little more research. And this thing got totally washed out. So it paid off here to wait. We're in a bit of a different market right now, so I don't know that I'll see that happening for Mango, but I'm certainly not at a point where I'm comfortable taking monster size here. But I am building a position at this SR level because it's hot. And Hellstone18 says Mango is a big player. First derivative DEX on Solana, so I like that. Entry price on Solana. I mean, yeah, let's look. We're gonna follow it up. That's what I'll be doing. I feel underexposed to Solana just because, again, I don't think it's going to be the highest percent mover from here in the ecosystem. I'm sure the echo pumps we can actually do better with. This is like cats out of the bag and then go hunt something a little more percentagey. However, as far as what's going to be around in 5 years, I think Solana is the hands down most likely, along with like Serum, Radium, like the ones that they've got their hands directly in. They're going to be around. And in crypto, typically, historically, all you have to do is survive, right? If you survive, everything's marking up. There's too much capital not in crypto versus what's in crypto for like the capital inflows. Like everything will trend up if it doesn't die and if it's not shit. So I really like Solana even from that point of view over the period of years. But buying the high breakout is not really my style. So for levels, $51, unfortunately. And that's probably gonna, could get left behind. That's why I didn't wait for this to get long. Averaging in, buying this little retest. Like there's ways to get into these things ahead as a trader, and that's an important part of it, so you don't get stuck with this decision here, which is a shitty decision. Like think about guys right now that are taking leverage longs on Solana. They might pay off. They might get rich, or they're gonna get squeezed, pinched, and then it'll move. Okay, take a deep breath. I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to hit the vape. Let's go. Yeah, Ray is the one. Walk the World did remember that. I did put out a tweet on Ray just because, looked good. Looked really good. Confirmation trend reversal. Also just remembering that like we've had this monster drawdown for a lot of these coins. So this is breakout volume. This to me is not highs volume. However, following big breakouts, especially on weekly time frames, you can have 1 or 2 red weeks that follow. And that's the retest. That's the final FU before the big fucking rally. So I guess my takeaway today should be like, let's not act like tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day are all going to be 30% days. They might be, but it's improbable. The higher probability is that all these levels will get little tests, and then that's going to be the gunslinger entry. Thoughts on CVX? Well, look, major thoughts are Bitcoin. This just looks tired. It does look tired. I'll admit that. Are we in an up-only environment where, you have a little shuffling of liquidity around these resistances when you get into them? For those who aren't sure, we are at weekly resistance. However you want to draw that up, depending on your time frame. So, are we in an environment where we're just gonna like shake the boat here, and it maybe even have like a little ooh, and then, and then it's just up to the next level, and then fuck around and shake everyone out, and fuck around, and then up to the next level. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin do that. There's a probability that could happen like that. Or it's like a proper FU, like, haha, it's a bear market. And then we decide here if we want to be a bull or not. That's the next sort of debate level, right? All through this, remember what I said, the debate between bulls and bears for a bear market or a bull market really doesn't happen at the first breakdown. It happens at the retest of levels like this, the retest of levels like that. So we're at that level. So if you want to be a bear, after all this bearishness, now's actually probably the first reasonable time to start thinking about it. But I don't want to be, because I'm bullish on all this shit, and I think Solana just kind of showed its hand. So I'm not going to entertain that shit, but it's good to manage risk. Want to look at Boston if you got time? Yeah, let's look at a few other coins. I think I've gone through as many of the Solana plays as possible. If you want, I'm going to put this in the YouTube chat right now. That's one way you can just look through these yourself. I didn't look at every single one. Kin apparently looks really hot. Buddy was telling me this morning. Let's take a look at Kin. It's on FTX too. Yeah, it looks great as far as like it's in a bull trend. It's not really at a level I can enter. And a lot of these are coming into this kind of stuff, right? So no, not a place to rush to enter. However, you can often get these, as we've been talking about, right? First area of interest, second area of interest. And when you look back after a big old bull, you will see things like this, right? And then you're like, well, how do you know how to buy these dips? Well, that's what this pump chaser zone's for. I think that's really how you paint the market. We can, for those of you who aren't convinced, or you're just like, oh, this is fascinating, I've never heard of this stuff. You see it, right? Imagine on this day, this is a daily chart. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 10 days, 8 days, you're watching your favorite coin pump. Comes in, tags the reload zone. So in that case, that was ideal. But even if you got long in the pump chaser zone, it aged okay. Tough to work with stop losses when it's loosey-goosey like that, but teach their own. Let's get the next one off the lows. Up here. Anything in this pump chaser zone aged pretty well. At the very least, it ages a hell of a lot better than racing to highs. Didn't get to the reload zone there. All right, so that's the idea. And looking back, you say, well, this is a crazy bull market. It's like, yeah, man. But even in the midst of that, it had pullbacks. It had pretty vicious ones that lasted a series of, like this thing dipped for 37 days. Basically to start the year, when a lot of things were pumping in January, this thing was just a shitbag. So how did somebody manage to capture this whole move? Well, they were either a patient holder or they were waiting for highs, starting to add things in reload zones and pump chaser zones, and then probably waiting for things like chaos PRZs to start paying themselves. So how did the chaos PRZ work for Kin? Not bad. Little reaction here, pullback. Okay, you got out early. That's okay. There's another one up here, and that was a 6L. So that's how we'll be playing this next move. However that ends up aging. Does it look like this? Maybe. Or maybe it does what a lot of bottoms do, which is this. It just sucks for a little while and kind of fucks with you. Given what we've seen with Solana, and it's the whole thesis that I'm working from, price discovery, price discovery is a special thing. So the fact that it got there so soon is so incredibly strong that I don't know if I'm going to sit and hunt for this as much as just a continuation of the broader bull market. Which reminds me, we should look at the total altcoin market cap. Look at this. Look at this. Now it's a little missized because it's a 4K monitor that I just brought it over from and drew it on, but we don't need to know the local highs. So we had an 11-week slump after making a sick high on a breakout from previous all-time highs. We dipped, as you know, and now we're back above the 20-week moving average. So is this going to be a little anomaly in the trend and we're now back above? Maybe we retest it, whatever. I think so. And this is January. This is what I think, like that's the 2017 summer slump. It lasted 7 weeks. It was really driven by the Bcash fork on Bitcoin, if you want to ask for narratives. That was the fear. That was the proxy, really. And then after that passed, it just took off. And this is altcoins, of course. So it got better as the end of the year came up, and this is where everything just like 100x'd. So for the sake of trying to capture something like that up into these chaos levels, which, first time charting total 2 chaos, we'll see if it even matters or works. But like, how sick would that be into January or end of the year, right? And it's not out of the question. In fact, I would say it's more probable than not. So that's how I'm positioning myself. Bear divs and RSI MACD, or am I crazy? On what? Walk the world. Oh, daily ETH BTC. Yeah. No, there's divs, man. I'm telling you, like these things do look tired. You have to keep that in mind. This is a multi-week rally after what was so fucking bearish for a while, like mentally, right? So don't be shocked if this rolls over. And that's exactly why the theme of today is like wait for these pullbacks, these zones. because the leaders of the market, they do look tired. They do look exhausted. But divs can form through uptrends all the time. Just ask the S&P. This thing has had a bear div working for like 30 years. I know it's a different beast. Divs are one tool. MACD, RSI, OBV. Those are one tool that might make you think about exhaustion, make you think about a short, and then you want to find a location. You want to be in a short reload zone. Then you want to find price structure breakdown, right? I need a bunch of reasons to be short. Divs are certainly a warning sign. So I would be cautious up here. I've been long on Solana projects for a little while now. When it comes to taking new positions, I need to be cautious. I might have been a little FOMO-y this morning, must admit. I may go back tonight and just like reassess. But like maps, yeah, that's not a buy. It's a hold. It's not a buy zone. It's coming up into resistance, and if this daily closes below here, it'll just be a little wick, and then you'll be like, yep, okay, let's go find some liquidity down below. So it's a great day to celebrate because Solana's broken out and all these things are showing incredible volume off the lows, and it shows that we're probably headed into a broader bull trend. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going in circles today. Sometimes you got to hear the message 10 times to get it. Maybe I'm just telling myself that because I keep buying freaking Solana projects today. I don't buy anything really that's up 30 to 20%. I'm very bad at that. Sometimes it's a good idea. Usually it's just whatever. But like FIDA, this looks so good. So find levels, find setups. Don't break your rules just because the market's looking really nice today, because you'll kick yourself in a few days or a week when things look shit again, and instead of buying up that blood, you're just getting shit on and don't have any powder left. Looks close to its bottom, worlds away from all-time high. Okay, let's go check out Rope. It's a weird name. Always thought it was kind of a stupid meme, but maybe they've got something going on because people are still talking about it. Yeah, Rope is interesting. Is this Solana play? I think so. People keep mentioning it in my Solana thread. Oh yeah, then we're gonna look at Keep and Bosun and a couple of other ones you guys mentioned. Yeah, Rope does look good. From a location perspective, buying the 88.6s, buying the lows, Rope looks outstanding. Is it a good project, right? Is it something that I want to invest in? Rope token. It is on the Solana ecosystem project list. It's up 69% this month or whatever this week. So I have to be aware of that. It's already pumped off the lows a bit. Then I can start my research, right? Go into here, Rope Solana. A next-gen ecosystem, full-scale decentralized ecosystem that brings a well-known market volatility index to the crypto market. Okay. Oh, okay. So something to look at. Just want to look in lightly. I don't do like huge deep dives when I have a sector rally like this because I don't need to. It's not going to pump because it's the best thing ever. It's going to pump because it's friggin' Solana related. What I would like to see, though, is more volume on that chart. There's really, first of all, what the hell was this? This is tracking CoinMarketCap, so something happened to the data here because I don't think there was zero volume. There's none of that breakout volume we're seeing on other pairs yet. Do I gamble and say Solana shit's hot, so I'm just going to buy it here anyways? I'll be the volume. Or do I play a little more conservative and wait for some kind of breakout volume and then look for a retest? And then, this is probably the safer play. This is probably the more aggressive play. But Solana's in price discovery, baby. Maybe it's time to be aggressive. What the hell is BOP? Nope, it's not here. Your coin's wrecked if it's not even on CoinTrader Pro. I think this thing has everything. I guess that just means it's not listed on CoinMarketCap yet. So, sorry, Ray, I tried. Valdivia. Maybe it's okay. I'll give you one more try. Oh, look at ID, though. ID looks... We always got to talk about ID. You guys know it's my favorite bag. Solana summer aside, thesis-wise, Step. Yeah, I'm talking about Step earlier today. But nobody was talking about it last week before it went 200%, which sucks because like 20 guys hit me up on my Twitter replies yesterday like, oh, check out Step. It's so good. I'm like, really, bro? You couldn't shill me on this last fucking week because this chart looks amazing. Anything down here in this zone probably is going to age really well. But like 4 or 5 days ago, nobody could talk about it. Now suddenly it's, it's annoying. It's the way markets go though. People don't talk about shit until it's pumped. But I am aggressively buying dips on this thing. I've already bought 2, 58, 59, 59. And if I can get 35, sick. Seems unlikely today because everything's pumping, but don't be surprised if I'm buying that dip if it comes. Now, ID just flipped the key SR level, not just one key SR level, like the one. So I had been loading through here. I think my average entry was kind of shit, to be honest, if you want to look back and say, oh, it wasn't the best. I think it was like around 70 cents. And then through this, I'm just like, well, we're in negative price discovery. I'm not really looking to ape in. I should have, in retrospect, added a little here because I'm super bullish. Nothing changed. But the next bag that I had planned to fire was once we reclaim this level. So I did do some buying here today. God forbid I should wait all this time and not add anything while we're down here. I'm happy to add at 45, 50 cents. Nice to see it's at 55 today. That's a 10% move. Never bad. Let's go see the one that I actually came here to see, which was BOP. Yeah, it's not here either. Bopin. We'll take a look at Bosun. Ugly chart. Find a better one. Yeah. So Bosun's good. Another one of those ones that I talked to somebody about in April, and I just said, this is too new of a chart. Let's let it play out. Let's find some levels. Let the market tell us how it wants to be. Came down into these lows looking for buyers, and it found some right here. That was the first day that we had an uptick in volume. So you got to pay attention to those. If you missed them this whole time around, you missed all this buy volume that signaled the potential for a reversal. Just know for next time, because these cycles will continue. Markets aren't going anywhere. Learn this shit. Another signal that we're probably going higher right there. Then you just get into this. And the same sexy little zone we've been talking about all day. Put it in white so we don't miss it. And there's your pump chaser zone, man, like clockwork. Oh, I love when lessons fall in line with real-time examples. This is what I'm talking about. How many Solana-based charts look like this today? And it's like, oh, I should buy. Well, no. Let's get that pump chaser zone going, man. This shit works. And then you can be like, look at that. I bought the dip. I was the dip. I set the floor. And sometimes they do go a little further. That's life, bro. But this level is always better than recent highs. Always, always, always. So that's cool. Bosun looks great. There is a level here. There's a level if you're really hooked on Bosun and you don't want to wait for any dips and you're like, fuck these fibs. Reclaiming this level was significant. It was resistance here. We just reclaimed it. Now we're resting on top of it. Nice volume coming in. So yeah, I like Bosun here. There's probably just a nice one-off trade for anyone who doesn't want to be a bag holder investor, where you just trade like that. Give yourself a little room. There's no significant pivots here that I really want to risk against. Maybe something on a smaller time frame. But for fun, let's just say whatever, 15%. Or let's do this. Let's use the target as our measuring tool, because we have a pretty clear level that it should be resistance because of guys like us who sell. And then I need at least 3-to-1 RR. So where can I afford to go down to on my stop loss? I don't really like that. It's too far, but I'll take a 5-to-1. I don't know. So there's probably a trade here just to capture this. I mean, this is a vacuum. So now that we're into that, this thing should move. I think I'm talking myself into buying Bosun. Just as a one-off trade, not like I'm going to make it all back in this trade, but like, fuck it. Punt a little stack into there, set that take profit. Let's be honest, it's probably going to come. I'll look back and be like, oh, I didn't trade that. So maybe I will. Let's go see the markets. Bitfinex, Qcoin, Bittrex, okay. CoinX, I remember that exchange. CET token, crazy. So yeah, probably want to look at Qcoin. Bitfinex has some pretty good liquidity on the UST pair. What the hell is UST? Wow. So I found out yesterday from the Hxro that I have some crazy sounding thing that's essentially like a tendinitis. It sucks. It's like a repetitive motion, carpal tunnel type shit. It's not quite carpal tunnel. Anyways, he did some electro, whatever you call it, acupuncture last night. It's very tender today. I'm pissed because I can't golf. Kind of caused by golf and using my mouse. But I ordered a little brace, and I'm probably going to golf with Rob this weekend because fuck it. I got one more in me before I go and treat this thing. Anyways, that's why I said ow. Let's see, man. I don't know what else to say, guys. I think I've said everything. So we're just going to hang out now. Could go all day. Clout. Whatever happened to BitClout? Yeah, BitClout is the stable coin of the century. Let's go look at it. Between you and I, for better or worse, I actually sold a little more today because I had a pretty decent size saved up in there, or saved up, like still stacked in there. And I had taken back my initial, and I had taken back over 2x my initial, so I was feeling pretty good. I said, oh, I'm just going to hold the rest. But if you look here, and we will go look here, you can actually see there's just this monster bid on the BitClout pair holding it up. And it's right, well, we'll just go look. Somebody is soaking up a fuckload of clout right here. $100 flat. This thing has, did it dump below? I thought I saw one wick. Yeah, there was one wick below. Really glad I didn't watch that live. That would have stung. So maybe they pulled their bid for a sec because otherwise the bids are pretty thin. But there's just been this infinite bid sitting at $100. That's why there's this like perfect floor. And they are soaking it up. These VCs, whoever that is, whales. It's 20,000 clout. Now it's 13,000. One day it was 19,000. Then it was 17. Like it's just an infinite bid. And so they're filling bags. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that they're going to, let that fail. Millions and millions and millions of dollars have just been soaked up at $100. And, Coinbase Ventures is invested. Wouldn't be shocked to see a Coinbase listing sometime in the next couple of months, as well as Huobi potentially. So, yeah, I'm bullish on Clout, and I guarantee almost that I just sold the exact bottom other than this wick. Like $100 is probably just going to look like a terrible place to sell. But the market's moving, and this is not. And I still have a pretty decent size bag of Clout. So I'm going to hold that. And I moved some cash over to FTX today, and that's, trading a little more actively there anyways. Setting some bids for some of these dips. But I'm not worried about Clout, aside from it that it's boring and quiet right now. They just launched NFTs. They're doing lots of kind of cool shit and little price action. I'm sure everyone will want to be their friend again. One that could be kind of interesting is ZCN. Read about the fundamentals coming to runs what I perceive as resistance. Nice. Let's take a look at ZCN. I was in this pre-sale back in like 2018. So I know a little bit about Zero Chain. It got wrecked hard after 2018. But since then, has done pretty well. And a few of my buddies that we invested together, they are still holding. I am not. 3 years is a long time for me through the bear market, so I did capitulate at one point or another. Full disclosure. But, it's the way she goes. Sure, I did something good with that ETH. Yeah, I mean, ZCN's at a really nice level. So if you believe in what they're doing, decentralized storage and some other shit, this buy volume breaking out, that's a good call, dude. Like, from April until now, there's probably never been a better time to start thinking about adding to a ZCN or starting a ZCN bag. So, and Zero Chain's dope. When we invested in 2018, we were like so hyped, and in many ways should still be. You don't want to just get hyped because of price action, right? The tech is dope. And they're, by definition, further along developing it than they ever have been today. Why did I sell? Well, I'm a trader. So, like with BitClout, if I see Solana ecosystem-wide rally and I see 5 coins that are in there that I don't own, and I see really nice levels that I expect them to pull back and fill me at, and I'm out of powder, and one of the reasons I'm out of powder is because I have this fat bag of Clout sitting on some shit, like exchange that I'm doing nothing with, I rotate. That's why I sold. But for reference sake, my Clout bag is still bigger than my Solana bag. Like, I didn't sell out much. Like, it was too big is the real answer. But my average entry was like 50 or 60. So 100 is still a winning trade. And I'd rather put that capital to work. And if I look back in a couple of months, which I somewhat expect to, and see it, you know, doing some of this shit, whatever that, you know, I'll be like, oh, cool. Good thing I didn't sell it all. And then I just have to hope that whatever I did with that capital I just took out of it somehow outperform that. If that, you know, if that does happen. It's the games we play, my friend. It's the games we play. Opportunity cost. Yeah. Thank you, Winner. Winner in Training just summarized everything I just rambled on about in one word. 2 words. ZCN probably one of the strongest storage projects. I agree. ZCN is an incredibly strong storage solution. And you just kind of got me thinking I'd like to add. The problem right now is, like, there is literally 500 projects in crypto that I could make a very strong bull case for. And so as a trader, you know, I can't find, you know, you end up finding yourself into 100 different bags, and then the market hiccups and you kind of get nervous because you're just holding too many things and it's hard to focus. So the more and more as a trader, I found that I do my best trading when I have a more focused bag that doesn't get too spread out in trade setups that have specific invalidations and alerts set, and ideally is focused on the hottest sector at that time for that swing in the market. And right now that's Solana. And thankfully, I started building those positions in July, and I'm just, now it's like, oh, confirmed that was the right thesis. I don't want to rotate out of that on day 10 or whatever it is, day 1 of the real breakout, but like day 10 since it really started moving. So I'm in, I'm holding, I'm riding. Solana's like 6 or 7% the size of Ethereum market cap wise. I think we can do better. And I think things like Mango's starting to move. All you want to see when you're like buying an SR flip, all I want to see is like a reaction. I'm like, oh, cool. Dip, react. Okay, nice. Doesn't mean it doesn't just do this anyways, but you know, things are moving in Solana town. So I like these kinds of plays when every single other name I look at has just done this. Because that's, you know, we're apes, man. We're humans. We're going to go, we're going to look, we're going to find the thing that hasn't pumped. We're going to buy it. And then it'll start pumping, and the FOMO guys will show up and pump it more. So all of these things have moved, except Mango. So it's probably the only one I can really justify buying today, along with like this pump chaser zone on step, which came in arguably a little sooner than I expected right here. This was it. And I even front ran it and still didn't get filled by a pip. So that's too bad. I bet it'll get filled. In fact, fun little fact here, probably something for like a journal, and I'll share it with you guys because it's what I'm dealing with right now. So because I didn't get filled here, and then, you know, as price moves up, I just think, oh fuck, like I really want to get that fill. But now that it's coming back down to that level, there's some probability that we just like dip, touch the 382 and then go. But I think now that this didn't get filled the first time, it's almost a bad bid now. It's almost like, okay, well, if we come back down there, we're probably going to take another little, you know? So I don't know. I might actually, I remember I closed half here and just like market bought because I was pissed that it missed me by a pip. But now that other half, yeah, I might move it down. Might move it into this pump chaser zone because, you know, looking at this chart, I would be shocked if there's not some filling in going on here, even down to this level. Filled, 46. That's a lie. Survey says that's a lie. I had to move that bid up, but maybe 46 comes in. I don't know. So I actually think I am going to cancel that adding because I already bought a little. And for a day like today, that's probably enough. Because like we said, Bitcoin and ETH look tired. They're really high up there. Cancel step. Yeah. Okay. So with Bitcoin and ETH looking kind of exhausted near the end of their current little leg, I think a lot of these Solana plays will get bid or, you know, will provide entries. And if they don't, they don't. Got to follow your plan. Yeah, I didn't chart Hxro. You know what, guys? I can't really chart it. I'm told, you know, like it's a legal thing. We work I work for the company. It's our thing. You know, pump your own token. Like, we just can't really discuss price. And therefore, I can't really chart it, which sucks. Trust me. Find somebody that can do charting and ask them to chart Hxro for you. I don't even know if I can retweet it, but I'd love to chart Hxro. I just can't. There's guys in the Discord that are really hyped about it right now. I'll tell you that. You can go in there. They're allowed to talk whatever shit they want. I just can't participate. So I apologize. Obviously, I would love to sit here and chart the shit out of it. RFox. Oh. No. I don't touch that. Nope. Don't care what that exploit was. I'm done. Although sometimes if it's like, ooh, here's an exploit, but it's totally fixed now and it's not even that critical, then you're like, oh, what a sick setup. But it's been sitting there for so many days that I don't know that that's the case. Just bought some today because it looks juicy as fuck. I bought a big bag today. Yeah. I mean, hey, we are partnered with Solana. We're building Hxro Network on Solana. And Dan said on stream that they're aiming to go live before Q4, which is the end of September. So I don't know that dev timeline. I'm not on the dev team. I'm like just a totally separate wing of the company. But so I asked Dan on stream purely because I also don't know. But that's what he said. So yeah. Yup. Can you look at 1 inch? Yeah. Let's take a look at 1 inch. It was actually on my AMM list here. And I had a bag. I want to say have a bag, but I think I got rid of it early. Got rid of it early, mate. Did ya? Yeah, it's probably going to hit this resistance at the very least as the next stop. That's pretty cool. I do get uncomfortable when you just see these like straight legs up, because markets don't move in straight lines. It's a zigzag. So where are these dips? Right? They're just going to be. And when they come, it's not as easy. It's not like, oh yeah, well, it's just a dip on the way up. But you never know, right? You never know if that's the dip or if it's the start of a full fucking retrace. And so that's why I just have to have these plans in place. And look at that. Maybe that's what happens. It's not about knowing, guys. It's just about, guessing well consistently over time. It's 1:13. Let me double check. I think I had a call. Yep. Oh. Yep. Oh. Nope. Call's canceled. Perfect. Look at that. I do have to take the dog to the vet, though. Guy's itching like crazy. I got to get him some vet pills. But, you know what they say about vet pills. They lead to vet bills. A little puke. I don't even know what he's allergic to. So I got to go in about 15 minutes, but let's hang for a little more. Our Fox chart stops October 2020. Use coin paprika. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying. I will go back. The paprika. Much better. Oh, yeah. So that was some kind of exploit still. Damn. Yeah, this looks good. Again, just get in there with that volume, right? If price just kind of like waddled its way up here, then it's like, oh, but like this is somebody somewhere putting in, like, making a statement, buying a fuckload. Is it psyops? Are they just trying to get us to buy so they can sell at a loss later? Probably not. It's more likely that the cat's out of the bag, the next leg is upon us, and it's a matter of just seeing how dippy we can get into our bids. Right into that reload zone from a glance at a coin that I don't otherwise think is in a sector rally. Could be like that. There's a pump chaser zone here. Could we get into a reload zone? That's going to really depend on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If this does roll over, right? If you're staring at the 15-minute, I'm sure today looks really poopy. Let's go look. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. I try not to like live on Bitcoin, Ethereum eggshells, where you just like sell all your otherwise bullish looking alts just because of this kind of candle, or you just dump your shitcoin because of this candle, and then you buy back your shitcoin here and you dump your shitcoin here. And through all this, essentially what is just sideways movement, altcoins are just fucking up only. The ones I'm looking at anyways. So why would I look here, right? I needed a significant breakdown for me to start reconsidering my altcoin positioning through this, and we may get that. You know, it does look like a rolling top locally. Well, let's get the 4 hour out. Shit, I think I just deleted like a ton of ink. It's okay, it was old. You know, so it does look like we're just having this like shitty little, but even if you break down, you can often, it's like, and then we'll talk. You know, maybe I'm taking a little risk off the table on something like that after we get a confirmed little M top. But you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. Look at this. Double top confirmed, squeezed. Double top confirmed, squeezed. So this is tricky trading. And where's the upside? Bitcoin to 100K, 2x. Okay. I think I can do better while Bitcoin fucking sits in this range. I think we did better last week. So it's not my primary focus, but I do need to know about it. Because if it turns out that it is going to break down, I'm just drawing random lines now, but you know, if it turns out that it is going to break down and find some trend line support or get into its very own pump chaser, which would make a lot of sense, then that is the signal then to, you know, get greedy on the dips for other coins. Bitcoin will be the driver to a lot of those reload zones that I was just hunting. So that would be super bullish. Just to be clear, this would be, you know, like noobs will shit their pants. People that aped into all their shit up here, but like we just had a 62% rally out of a depression, out of a mini depression. So is a pullback like that, you know, bad, abnormal? No, totally fucking normal. And would this fill the majority of our bids on things like all of these? Yup, probably. And that'll probably look like double-digit red days. After everyone today just starts filling their bags with Solana projects, and then they go on a double-digit red day during a Bitcoin normal pullback, that'll be my next bid day. Got to have conviction, and you got to stay ready for those days. I made the bulk of my portfolio on RFox over the last year. Still sold too low, but I want back in. Nice, Paul Young. Paul Young Jr. crushing the RFox. Yeah, I mean, this chart looks great. I don't know what it does. But Red Fox Labs, let's take a quick peek. Is this that Red Phoenix, like Neo thing that launched in whenever, 2018 or something? Sounds a bit like it. Let us go and see. Unlocking value in the new digital economy platform. Tech-powered venture building and delivering companies. Vault, finance, games, cogs. Oh, games. Collectibles, metaverse. Okay. Talk dirty to me. Gaming, NFTs. Oh, Paul Young. This is right in my wheelhouse. I didn't even know. Should have told me, bro. I love CoinGecko. I just did like an hour's due diligence in 14 seconds. I officially know everything I need to know about RFox. Yeah, man. I'd like to get in on this dip. Where does it trade? Let's check CoinGecko. Qcoin, Bittrex, good signs. Means you can set some limit orders. Probably less liquid though. But looks like Qcoin's getting a 0.5 mil volume. RFox. God, there's too many coins. Welcome to too many coins season. Yeah, I'd like some of that. Putting it on my list. Let's go look at Keep. Maddie asked if we could check out Keep earlier in the show. I hope you're still watching, bro. We're going to check it out right now. Keep looks good. Now, I loaded up on Keep after our stream last Wednesday because Messi reminded me, and I had already had some, sold some because I just needed the liquidity, and then I said, nope, not doing that. Find me a scenario where this does not end up being a big fucking bull rally. Find me one. You can't. I bet you can't. There's times in stocks where like there's this monstrous downtrend, and then like big buy volume will step in and it'll consolidate for a while, and there's this huge volume, and then it'll be like, and then yeah, it'll continue lower. It happens. That's why you never put it all into one. But in crypto, not really. This is whales putting in a monster position, and they're gonna let the fucking lid off this thing soon. So I'm holding keep. I've got a bag. I'm not selling it. It's a Uniswap thing, so like I don't even have asks. I'm just gonna see how it ages. But that's a nice level flip there. Thank you for reminding me. I'd say I'd add, but I'm kind of lying because there's too many things to buy, and I don't need more of the same. I'd rather maybe sprinkle some into RFox. But oh, that looks good. This is almost the place to add, though. It's like, oh, you bought through here hoping it'll break out. Oh, look, it did break out. Oh, look, it's giving you an entry. Ah. Is it going to hit $1? Maybe. Can I get a double? That's 80 cents. Probably. That's resistance here. Oh, yeah. Dude, this is a nice level right here. Probably the next stop if it breaks hard here over the next like month. Basically a double. 80 cents. Sell half my bag, and then I get all the money back I put into it and see where the rest goes. August, yeah, early stream today, man. Not only is it Solana summer, but I am going to be traveling to Chicago on Thursday. I'm going to see Rob and Dan, basically staying with them. So not going to stream Friday. Thought I'll stream today. I was probably going to stream today anyways. I'd like to get into a Monday stream routine. But yeah, good to see you, bro. If we're going to do bond next, please. Okay, let's do bond. This thing is trading on, are we talking about Barn Bridge? I think so. Yeah. I don't know if I bought some of this. I might have. I definitely looked at it. It's like it's listed on Coinbase. Somebody in the Discord was telling me about it. It's like one of the lower cap or whatever Coinbase coins. So they're like, they all pump. This will pump hardest. Yeah, looks decent. I mean, you have the breakout volume, so now it's just consolidating. Where's the next move? New lows? Nah. Volume speaks volumes. It's probably up. So let's just be honest with ourselves. Let's not try to stare at the Bitcoin chart and be heroes about calling the next top. Calling the top through here was hard. Nobody did it because everyone was looking left. That's what markets make you do. Up here, it was all like, I mean, okay, there was probably some people, maybe even some people watching who were saying risk off. I was definitely taking some risk off. But not every, like the fashion of the month, the trend and the flavor of the month was not to look for downside here. It was like unheard of. Like, yeah, you're an idiot. Get out of here. I have a pitchfork. Fuck you. And then same thing through here. We should have been looking long. Most people caught up just trying to cut their bags and lick their wounds and wait for brighter days. So now we're here, and it's like everyone is in a rush to worry about tops. And there's nothing wrong with, managing risk. I'm not saying, be a bull tart and stay long, but, we are at a nice weekly resistance, the weekly resistance. But is the reigning sentiment right now that is essentially to take risk off and be sheepish and coy with our positions, like, is that going to get rewarded maximally? If I'm shorting here, I'm looking for a fucking bear market. I'm not shorting here to take a little percent move. Where's the risk reward there? I mean, I guess there's a scalp there to check your time frames, but I'm in swing trade mode right now. So my swing is long. Sorry, just ranting on the same old stuff. Yeah, Barn Bridge. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Wiener, it looks good. It looks good. So for lack of anything else to buy, this is one I would look at. But as you guys know, from right now, I am hunting dips on Solana plays aggressively. Because if Solana goes into real fucking price discovery, which it is, right now, arguably in, or not even arguably, it just is. This thing can go so hard, guys. This thing can go so hard. And so if, I'm going to beat the dead horse here. That's what we're doing today. We're talking Solana. But if these all broke out in the 10, 5 to 35% when Solana broke to new highs, imagine what they were going to do if it just fucking rips. Chaos. Pump chaser zone. chaos, right? Like, I don't know where Solana ends. What I do know is it's objectively, it's in price discovery, breaking out to new highs on delicious volume that says I'm a breakout. So yeah, that's where the energy is. That's where the excitement is. I'm getting the fuck in on every dip to pump tissue zones that this list gives me, period. And there could be 100 or 1,000 other projects that are very promising. Damn it, Whiner. I'm sorry, dude. I was wondering about it when I said it. I didn't want to bring it up because we're on stream and it's a Whiner. Okay. Damn it. All right, you got me. It's like when I used to read attendance as a teacher. I was always just getting fucked with. Jay Quellen. Oh, we being smart now. Yeah. You guys know the Key and Peele skit. It's the best. Look at audio. Yeah, it's on here. Let's take a look. Is it? Yeah. Audio is weird. Like, it just looks like another project. It doesn't have the same Solana ecosystem vibes. And it is only an ERC20 token. So it's not an SPL token. So it's not a pure through and through Solana play, but it's on their ecosystem list. I'm not sure the nature of their relationship, but it looks good. It looks like a lot like the AMM plays. So if you're looking for a sector that it like kind of looks like, it looks a lot more like these. Well, they've all moved a little further. You know, it looks more like these. It doesn't look like that same like totally washed out, bottomed out Solana plays. You know, I'm talking about the Copes. Shit, Copes moved hard. Step. You know, it doesn't look like that. Either way, looks good. Looks bullish. I don't know that I can buy it here. It just had a level. It's unfortunate. I only really dove into the deeper realms of the Solana ecosystem today. Last few weeks I was looking at more like the top tier ones like Ray and all these ones, Maps. So, but yeah, this is a level. Oh man. I think I did pick up a little audio today, to be completely honest. Let's go see if it filled. Well, I don't see the order. It's usually a good sign. Yep. I did pick up audio today. How much did I pick up? Well, decent little bag. What was my entry? You can see I was in like a bit of a state this morning. Average fill price 163. Okay, that's a good sign. I bought some kind of dip. Yeah. So I did pick up some audio today, apparently, around here. So that's cool. I like to see that bounce. And then, yeah, you zoom out and it's like, here's your SR level. Let's get the flip. I don't know if that's what I was thinking or if it was just like panic buy a bunch of Solana shit that hasn't absolutely mooned yet, but I did have some. And let's see on the daily what that'll look like. And I zoom out. Let's see what like a chaos PRZ looks like. Just say from here to here. Looks like a short reload zone visit would be confluent there. Love when fibs line up. Oh, to a pip on the sweet spot. Yup. That's great. Love that shit. Look at that. That is like point. Okay, it's not that crazy. It's like 1,000th of a cent alignment. Oh, the universe is a fucking, what do you call it? Simulation. Whew. Sorry, I got excited there. So yeah, there's nothing more satisfying in my line of work with, you know, being a fibs, mostly fibs based TA analyst. When that shit happens, you're like, oh, let's punt a random chaos off 2 random pivots. And then let's line up the standard reload zone. And then they just like, wow, they just fit together so delightfully. And yeah, we got another. I was suspecting that we might have the 88.7 of this smaller one here. So we got a zone here. I really like audio in the 370 area. That's where I'll probably start paying myself. Even though on the broader market, I think we're probably headed into, you know, I don't know about this chart, but like this is what I see coming like as the next part of this market. That's the logical next step if we're a bull. You know, I don't know that it's going to be like, oh, look, we're a fucking bull. Oh, no, we're a bear. Like, the reason I would still pay myself here is because what we've talked about before on stream is a lot of times the bottoms, you know, or whatever, like you get consolidation before. So was this enough consolidation? And so maybe I sell half. It's about a double there. And then if I can, I reload, get another car. So yeah. So I won't sell all here, but I'll certainly get paid there. Because if I don't pay myself on those kinds of things, then what am I doing? And then the question is like, okay, I have the amount that I have. Do I want to load a little more? And have, then I can really get paid there? Because it looks like that level is just a magnet right now. Let's put the magnet there. It just looks good. And if I get really fancy and you guys all weren't sitting here watching, I'd get all fancy and put some little lightning bolts. And thing is, there's a huge gap here. And that tells me that we're not done with this range. So I also just wouldn't be shocked to have to like see some shit like this. I don't know. Like this would be much more comfortable for me if this was all filled in. And then we're like, oh, we're done with this range. Price is ready to explore higher. So that's a big red flag. So I won't add any more here today. But I got a bag. Let's send it. I feel so bad for not having any Solana. Yeah, you know what? The market will do that to you, man. Dude, I have Solana and I feel bad. I have the choice to feel bad or feel good. I have the least amount of Solana I've ever had, other than like pure during the dip when I hadn't bought back any bags. Like on a pure token amount level, like we were fucking heavy here, lightened up here, loaded up here, sold more here, had too much here, sold some here. Like, but all said and done, we're ready for the next leg, and I have like the least I've had through that. It's a nice little bag. It's just not even, it's like a 20th the size of my super fill down at like $3. This is where, like, I'm gonna show you guys something. This is where Rob is an absolute legendary trader. Rob and Dan, the guys on DeltaFi, and this is where I'll be someday, I hope. Where you think, like I do well, I'm a profitable trader. I'm 3 years in, 4 years in, but then in like 10 years, how good can I be? In 10 years, what will the difference be? Well, I'll tell you what. Those guys have been trading market making options for 20 years. And one of the things they've learned over time is to have conviction, size up at lows, and hold. And fucking hold. Is it undervalued? Yes, hold. Is it undervalued? Yes, hold. Was Solana undervalued at $60, $50 in their opinion? Yes, it was. So did they sell through the 30s and 20s? No, they added. And they're still holding. Well, look at this chart that I put out in friggin' like January 7th. That's the end of that distribution. It was a trade setup we put out. And I was super bullish on it. I hang out with Rob and Dan. They were like, yep, load up Solana. I was like, so, well, look at this thing. Like, and I didn't do, what they did, which is basically hold indefinitely and add and hold and add. Right? So, yeah, this, like, what a sick level. Imagine getting in here, being super bullish on Solana to 100 and not having your full position when it gets there. That's sort of my thing that I'll get better at. But I'm not butthurt about it. We're doing well. We like the Solana. So anyways, just wanted an excuse to flex that trade idea from January. Let's be honest, y'all knew that. The cool thing was Solana would have basically 21x right now to reach market cap of ETH. Exactly, dude. I put that out on Twitter today. Like even at 50%, I think Solana's like $600. So we want to be conservative, right? Because we're not going to say, oh, we're flipping ETH. Let's just go up. We might flip ETH. That's the sick thing. Not this year. But like someday, on an objective sort of level, Solana's tech a little faster, a lot cheaper, more suited to a lot of things. Ethereum's network a lot stronger, more robust. 5 years, 4 years more development. So what happens when Solana gets 4 years development? Does that underlying tech that is arguably stronger end up overtaking it? Does it flip Ethereum? I would bet that the investors, the guys like Rob and Dan who are just bullish on it, I would bet that they'll have some in their bag when it has like, in years, because that's their time frame. And that's why I love hanging out with them, and I admire their hands. And, Serum investors are locked up for 7 years. I keep seeing you mention SHIB, dude, and I'm intentionally not checking it, but we'll go look. I actually have Doge. So I'm in all for dogs right now. It's the first time I ever bought Doge, regrettably, but you can be wrong, no big deal. But staying wrong That'll cost you. So if shit breaks this level, there's going to be fireworks. And, you know, I'd rather buy it after it breaks this level. Beep, boop, beep. If it even lets me. Probably will. It's a pretty strong level. But it might only retest like this or this, so it doesn't quite hit that. SHIB looks good. You know, you got the buy volume tripling up. I don't know what the hell it does. It's probably just another transfer of value, store of value kind of copycat, but those do well sometimes. I do own Doge. I was averaging in a little bit here. I'll be honest, I did shot myself up a bit. I like bought, and then I was like, what am I doing? It's Doge, it's stupid. Sold a dip, bought, sold it. But I ended up with a pretty good position that's now well in profit. So like, okay, can't be perfect. And I'm not going to sit here and say I am. I definitely did do a bit of chopping. And that's the problem with being in coins that I don't think are very good, right? The drawdowns are unacceptable. If I lose money being long on FTT or Solana or whatever my bags that I'm really bullish on, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, it's too bad. If I lose money on Doge, I'm a fucking idiot. Because I've said repeatedly, I just don't see the value prop. But I'm not stupid, you know? Like after not buying it here, not buying it here, not buying it, like I didn't buy it anywhere. I had a good buddy of mine shilling me at 1/10 of a cent or 2/10 of a cent. He just said, dude, buy Doge. It's like it always pumps. And he's right. Relative to, you know, history versus Bitcoin. I don't know about this chart, but versus Bitcoin, it just always goes through these cycles. So all through this last year, he was just like, or I guess that's only here last year. Anyways, I've told you guys this before. But I'm not the stupid. So when I see this thing sliding into some levels and reversing and big volume coming in and every billionaire in the world apparently seeming to want to pump this thing, I buy. And my sells actually initially are at 37, so I'm not trying to go like moonshot, but my initial sell will be soon, hopefully. Then I can get back to real coins. Chop myself up on Doge in the 3-month bear. Yeah, man, it sucks. Doge was a 6 short right here. I had asks working, and I canceled them. I had an ask working here, and then I regretted it. Right in the short reload zone, I was like, aha! And I don't know why I canceled it. I do silly things sometimes. And then this hurt because I was like, what a perfect short. And now we're back and I'm long. Go figure. Yeah, value prop, community, memes, liquidity. It's very liquid. You can get in and out. It's just a tool for traders to accumulate more money. What's your TP on Doge? Yeah, it's around 37 cents. Don't front run me, bro. But that's what I'm looking at on the Doge. I don't even know why. I'd have to go look at my FTX chart. I'm sure there's a reason. Let's go see. Yeah, I don't even know. There's a level there. I should have a better reason to do things, right? It's kind of like this level here. Resistance, support. We've now lost it. Should come into that level. It's 36. Minus 37. Well, maybe it's a stupid level and I just did it in a rush and I should reconsider. But it's this. Oh, you know why? I think it was a daily level maybe. Like this here. I don't know. I don't know. You caught me. I don't know why I'm selling. It's kind of like here. Just thought, I'll get out my initial here. And this is strong. This is strong. So it looks like it's hopefully going to hit that before it does any kind of next pullback. So we'll see. Because I can't, like, I've clearly proven I can't stomach a drawdown on Doge. I just won't. I don't believe in it coming back. Every time it goes down, I feel like it's the bear market forever. Every time it goes up, I'm like, oh, I got lucky. So I'm trying to get hot and heavy and then out. Yeah, it's true. Community greater than fundamentals, says Coach Popovic. I agree. I think fundamentals catch up in the long run probably, but community can drive the biggest pumps. And then sometimes those lead to fundamentals because the devs get so rich, they say, no, we're going to be legit and do this. RT, make sure you participate in the Star Atlas IDO. Strongly believe it'll do well. Hold posters and will also get tokens. Star Atlas IDO. Where is that, August? I feel like I've heard of that before. And maybe it was you that mentioned it to me in DMs or something, but gotta run, man. Love these streams. Let's pray and build for the future. Maximum swag engage, man. Take care. I should run too. Oh, okay. I've got to go. Thank you for the reminder. I've got to get the dog to the vet in 20 minutes, and it's about a 25-minute drive. So that's how my day's going to go. But I'll be back on the Discord, on the everything else, like the Twitters, later today. Let's get back to the studio for a quick goodbye. Star Atlas's Solana Metaverse project. Oh, shit. Okay. 2 things I love. August, can you DM me on Discord? I'd love to pick your brain. Let's get after it, man. Love to learn a little more about it. I'm sure I can do some Googling, but if you're already kind of hovering around it, I'd appreciate you sharing some of that wisdom with me. It'll save me some time. Because I do have a son now, of course. I'm going to lean on that crutch forever. I got to go see him tonight. At the hospital. Dude will probably be out in 2 to 3 weeks. Wish him luck. He's very healthy. He's doing well, if anybody was wondering. And the doctor's like, we're not worried about him at all. We're just going to keep him here until he puts on some beef. So he's still a little guy. He's tiny, 7 weeks early, but he's looking like a little stunner. So anyways, guys, have a wonderful week. It's Monday. Enjoy it. Get after those dips if they come. And always trade or play from a position of strength. Take care.